Hi everyone, welcome to Hello Susan, and thank you for subscribing to my channel. I've got some new subscribers. How fun is that? So today on Hello Susan, we're going to create a Valentine Journal Box. Now you might be saying, what is that? Well, I wanted to create a box to put journal spots in, but I wanted to embrace the Valentine theme. So I purchased this Russell Stover candy box, and that's my foundation. Now I've done a lot of the work already, and I'll go over that with you and tell you exactly what I did. The other thing that I'm using is, remember I bought this fabric at the thrift store? Well, I cut a piece of it and I gathered it up, so we're going to use that to go around the edge of the box. And the other thing that I wanted to show you before we get started is that I'm using my Hello Susan Cottage Rose digital collection. Now it's got 10 to 11 pages, so I'm not able to use all of it, but I did use some of it. And this is the background sheet. This is the other background sheet that you'll see in the project. This is some floating pockets. Aren't they cute? So vintagey looking. This is the tags that we're going to cut up and put in the project. And this is an envelope that I reduced down so that I could fit it in the box. Now that's one thing I had to think about, was making sure that everything stayed flat so that it could all fit in. Let me move this out of the way real quick, and I'll bring in the pieces that I've been working on. Okay, this is the inside of the box so far. So you see I took that green paper and I lined the inside of the box, and I did go around the edges too. At first I wasn't, but then it just made it look so much prettier. Glued some lace on the inside, and this is a gathered lace. Made a bow out of rayon seam binding. The back of it, I created a Valentine. So all it says is, "To my Valentine in love," and then a name would be written right here. So I created that specifically for it. Glued some netting on here, put a trim around it, added a bow. And the front of the box, let me get it. I'm sorry, there's just lots of pieces here. The front of the box I haven't done much with. All I did was cover it with some of the organza fabric, but on the inside I covered it with the green paper and put a different little lace trim there. It's got a little bit of gold in it. And I'm going to add some pockets. And you know the thing that comes on the center in the candy box and it covers up your candy? Well, that's what this piece is. So it's got a kind of crinkly sound. I put a pocket, a lace pocket on it. And we're going to add some more trim and decorations to finish that up. I've started the cover, and I added some pockets so that we can put tags in there. And let's see, what else do I need to show you? Oh, this is the back of that page that has the candy liner on it. So I just put a place so that you could journal right there. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started doing some of these pieces. I'll start with this one since I've got it on top. And what I would like to do here to finish this one up, I put some blue tape down, guys. I mean, last time I did the velvet pincushion, I didn't stay in frame like I should have, and I'm sorry about that. But I did put some tape down to try to help remember to keep everything up in the frame. So I have this blue trim, and I'd like to glue that right here. Then I have this flower that we're going to put on. So that's the first thing we're going to do right now. So I'm just going to use my Fabri-Tac. And it does take a little bit of extra glue when you're doing fabric to fabric. And it does take a little bit longer to dry when you use a little bit more glue like that. Isn't that cute? Just adds a little finishing touch to it. Just trying to hold it down so it can get adhered. It doesn't take long. I do find that since it's winter, it takes a little bit longer for the glue to dry. I guess like everybody else, I'm keeping my thermostat pretty low. I think I've got mine set to where it's 68. So I'm not cold, but it just takes the glue just a little bit longer to dry. Okay, I think I've got that even now. It was a little bit uneven. And you know, the liner smells like chocolate, so I think that's an added bonus right there. Okay, so I've got this red flower that I purchased, and we're just going to glue that at the bottom. Now today what we're going to do is we're going to finish up all the foundation work, and then we're going to come back in my next video and make the Valentines that we're going to put inside the box. I'm trying to fill it as much as I can and put so much interactive features to it so that it's a fun project. Okay, so I'm just going to hold that for a couple of seconds so that can have time to adhere. We'll push it over here out of the way a little bit. So the next thing I want to do is I want to take the front of the box, turn it over, and we're going to do the inside of the front cover. And I want to add this pocket. Remember the little floating envelopes I showed you? And I want to situate that just right there, and it'll stop at each corner. So that's the first thing we're going to do, is glue that on 3 sides. And I always hold mine on the edge that I don't want to glue. Keeps me from making a mistake. Okay. I'm going to have to hold this up for just a second so I can get this exactly where I want it. And I'll set it back down so you can see it. Because I want to make sure it's straight. Okay. I think that's going to do it. And then we can stuff some tags inside there. Alright, so I have this lace trim. I want to put that on next to decorate the pocket. So we'll just put a little bit of glue here. I think I'll go this way so that the little scallop is at the top. Let me lift it up for just a second. Get it exactly where I want it. That looks good. I've got this other piece of trim that I cut apart. It's in a row. I'll show you. It comes in a row like this, and I cut one piece off. And I put some ink on it already, and that's Vintage Photo. I like this is the front side, and you see how shiny it is? I like the back side because it's not shiny. And I think this is going to look real pretty just right here in the point of the box. So I'm going to actually put the glue on the little applique. Then I don't make a big mess. Okay. Turn it over. Make sure it's where I want it. Okay. And then just press it down so that it makes contact. I want to go ahead and ink this trim a little bit, just so it doesn't look quite so stark there. Okay, now I have these little flowers. I'm thinking they'll look real cute just like that, and it doesn't add too much dimension. So I'm going to put this one on first. Just right in the corner. I don't really want to block my pocket opening. And then look at that, isn't that cute? I love those. I got those on Etsy. Can't think of the name of the shop at this moment. I'll try to figure it out and put it in the video in the description. And if I don't, I'll put it in the next one for sure, because I'm going to use more of those flowers. Okay, so that's all we're going to do to the inside of the top. And I'm going to set that over here now. The bottom has already, I put lace around the box, red lace, and then I also put a lace around the edge. And this one was gathered, but I cut it off the edge so that it could lace flatter than that. And then of course it's got the netting. I don't believe there's anything that we're going to do to this. This one is totally complete. So this is what I've done so far for the top of it. And these are the two pockets that I created. And then this is that trim. And I cut each one apart and put it on there exactly where I wanted. I inked around the edges already. I'm trying to give this a little bit more time to dry. I think I'm going to give this a chance to dry, and I'm just going to stop the video and then I'll start it back up again. Okay, I think that's dried enough. So what I want to do is I want to place this piece in the center and line up this pocket with the edge of the box. So I just am kind of dry fitting it just to be sure I know exactly where I'm going. Then I'm going to cover the back side with glue. And I want to make sure I don't get these pockets glued shut. So just want to go around the edge there. I thought about making this a pocket too, but I just figure it's going to be pretty busy. So I decided not to do that. Okay. I want to make sure it stays on the edge right there. Okay, I'm going to have to look at it real quick. I think that looks good. What do y'all think? What are y'all making for Valentine's Day? This has been a really fun project. I'll tell you though, it did take a lot of thought process, and it did take me several hours to do all of these things and get it the way I wanted it. And I just didn't figure that anybody would want to sit through that long of a period of time to look at everything. I know how smart everybody is too, and you can figure out a lot of this stuff on your own by me just explaining. Okay, that looks good. So what I want to do now is I want to attach this trim that I made. And all I did was put it on my sewing machine and do the biggest stitch that they had, the straight stitch, and then I pulled the string together. You pull the bobbin string, and then it gathers it up, and then you can kind of even it out with your hands. Okay, we'll see how good this goes. So I guess I'll start at the bottom. Seems like a good place to start. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead, glue this down. That wasn't adhered. Well, let's go ahead and adhere this one too. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just start at the point, and we're just going to put a line of glue. And I'll do, you know, several inches at a time. I'm a little bit nervous about this trim because, you know, in your head you have an idea of what it's going to look like, and then, you know, you're not too sure till you actually do it if it's going to look like you want it. Okay, we're going to have to just be patient and let it get adhered. Let me see, you know those pink clips I have, let me see if that would hold it in place for me. It's kind of like watching paint dry, isn't it? Just want to make sure it stays where it's supposed to stay. Whoops, I didn't know the box scooted way up there. Okay, that seems to be working, so we'll go ahead and turn the box and just keep going. I just want to do it just right on the edge there. And it gives the box, you know, just a little bit more decoration. I think these clips are going to work for me. It's a good thing there's a little bit of a lip on the box. It's a curve, so I better put an extra one there. Okay, I'm gonna go back and check the beginning and see how it's coming, just to be sure I'm not running anything. Oh, look at that. Okay, well, let's continue going then. I think it's working. I'm going to have to move that over just a touch so I can get that little section so it'll still look like a heart indent right there. Okay. We're almost done with that. So how are y'all liking the box? Do you like it? Sure, I'm glad I went back and got more of these little clamps. I never, never ever thought that I would use this many at one time. Okay. I'm liking it. I'll tell you what, the weather had been so rainy for so long, and then we got some nice weather recently, and I went outside to see what's going on in my yard. I moved in this house that I'm living in now. I bought this house 5 years ago, and I'm in East Texas, and it's a house that was built in 1900, very cottage style, big front porch. But what I'm getting to is, you know, at Christmas time we had freezing weather, and a lot of my stuff that I had been planting in the garden is only 4 years old, and some of it not even that old, because, you know, every year you add more when you can. And all of a sudden everything looks brown, and I'm going, oh no, am I going to have to start all over? But I went outside and looked, and I see some of my rose bushes are getting leaves, and I saw daffodils coming up. I don't have any blooms yet, but I saw them poking through the soil. And then so I saw clematis. Not all of them I haven't seen come back yet, so I'm so excited about that. What's going on in your garden? I think we can almost take this off now. I've just got a little bit left to do. Seems to be sticking really good. Okay, let me just do this one last little bit right here, and then we can do something else. Okay. I'm pretty excited to do those Valentines. I've got ideas in my head. And of course we're using some of the tags from the kit. But then I'm also going to do some handmade Valentines to go in. I just have to keep in mind that everything has to stay flat. Or as flat as I can keep it, so that it'll all fit in the box. Okay, let's see what that looks like. I'm going to pick it up real quick. Oh, I love it. It looks very cute. I think we can start taking some of these off now. Have you ever started a project and you don't know what you're doing, but you just pull in some things and you just start working on it, and then the next thing you know, you've got something that you never even dreamed of in your head? All right, I'm going to leave that there just for a little bit longer. I've made this little bow, just like the one on the inside of the box, and I've got some paper flowers that I glued to the back side of it. I think that's going to look really pretty just right there on the corner. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that on. And I'm going to put most of my glue right here on the stem, and I think the leaves. I think that should hold it in place pretty good. Well, let me look at it this way so I can get it just where I want it. I don't want to cover up the little bird. Okay. Hold it with my finger for a minute. I think I want to put one of these on the front. I think maybe right down in here. Yeah, I think so. I think that will just give a little bit of an angle there. Okay, let me see if I can take these off now. And we'll go ahead and clip it, because I did make it a little bit too long. Want to have more, you never want to have too little. And then I can use these maybe in the Valentines, what I've got left over. I think we're going to have to put a little bit more glue right here to get that to stick on the box. I don't know if I missed it or what, but it didn't get glued down at all. But I can go ahead and, whoops, that was an odd angle. Go ahead and cut that off real quick. And I can hold it better. See, by having it gathered, you can't tell where it starts or where it stops, so that's good. Put that clamp back on it. We have to hold it. Well, I think that that's as much as we're going to do today. Let me move that out of the way and bring in the pieces again so you can see them together. So that's the front. This is the inside. Here's the bottom. That's the back of the bottom. And here's the inside of the top. Isn't it cute? Oh, I didn't glue that down. You know, I think I'm going to wait on that. I want to put the tags in and make sure I want to put it there. I'm not too sure if that's exactly where I want to go with it. But see how that fits just right inside there? And it'll kind of be raised up like that when I put all the cards in the bottom. Well, okay guys, that's it for right now. I'll see you in a few days and we'll do the Valentines to go inside the box and put all the tags. See you next time. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, give me a like and subscribe. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.